Hello and welcome to the TikTok workshop. I'm Mark. This is my first ever vlog and I wanted to start off by saying thank you. Thank you so much to those of you that have supported me so far. I'm an absolutely tiny channel. I've only got 72 subscribers, but the amount of time and effort that you guys have put in has been absolutely fantastic. And I want to make two specific shout outs. Firstly, to everybody that I've been talking to on Twitter. You answered all of my questions, and more importantly, you've really welcomed me into the horological community. You guys are clearly extremely passionate about passing horology forward to the next generation, and I'm going to do everything I can to help with that. So my second shout out goes to you guys on Reddit, on the YouTubers and YouTubers subreddits. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a community of people made up of people that are new to YouTube, like myself, and some people that are more experienced. And they're there to give you some help and advice and some well-needed critique. Now, I know for a lot of you guys started out, you've probably got very supportive friends and family that are behind you all of the way. But it's really, really hard to get criticism of friends and family. And it's incredibly important to get in a channel just the way you want it. And that's what subreddits like YouTubers and YouTubers is for. I posted up some videos. I got some extremely positive and helpful critique, and a lot of the improvements that you can see in my videos, like they're framed a bit better, the lighting's better, the audio's got better. That's all thanks to you guys, so thanks very much for that. So one of the things I wanted to do is, I haven't been asked many questions, but the few questions that I have been asked, I wouldn't mind answering here on this vlog. One of the first questions I've been asked is this something that anybody can do? Now, if I'm honest, it's not. And that's not to do with your particular level of skill. It's to do with two other factors. One is space. You need to dedicate a lot of space if you actually want to make watches from scratch. Not so much if you're looking to service and things like that. You can do that in a very small space. But if you're looking to make watches or make clocks, you're going to need an awful lot of space for that. So the other thing that's going to really restrict you is the cost of it. And this is one of the things that I really underestimated and I think I'm still underestimating, is how much this is actually going to cost me. Now, before I started this, I put through a rough budget of how much like the big tooling is going to cost, how much courses are going to cost, how much all of the video equipment and other bits and pieces like that were going to cost. But the thing that's really caught me out is the small purchases. It's the £10 to £50 purchases, and they really, really add up. I think I've probably spent close to £1,000 already on small bits and pieces rather than the big stuff. So before you take on something like this, it's a really good idea for you to know what your budget is. And that may initially restrict the amount of stuff that you can do, but there's still an awful lot of stuff that you can do on a small budget, especially when it comes to things like servicing and stuff like that. So the next question I was asked was, how are you getting on with the course so far? And which is a great question, because you guys probably want to know what it's like to get started in this. It is an undertaking. You are taking on a qualification at the end of the day, and it's not a simple qualification at that. You've got an awful lot to do. It's not like you're learning history or something where you can just sit down with a book and a pen and paper. You know, you've got to set yourself up for this and be ready for not just the theoretical stuff, but doing the practical stuff as well. And if you're like me and you haven't got the money for doing the extra courses that are available and things like that, there can be a lot of self-doubt in there, especially when you're doing the practical exercise. Am I doing this right? You know, is my technique any good, or other things like that? And that's one of the reasons why I started doing these videos to begin with, is because as I'm going through and making the videos, I'm also able to get critique from you guys, and that's going to be really helpful in for me going forwards. I think for those of you that are looking to take on the distance learning course, you need to find a community that's going to give you feedback, and anything that I can do to help, let me know. So if you've got some videos and you want to know how you're doing, send them to me. I'll stick them on a channel. I might even do it once a month. You know, we'll do it like a little gallery where you can send in all of your different bits and pieces. I'll put it out to the rest of the community, and you can give we can get the rest of the community to give some feedback, and I think that would be really helpful for everybody. The course itself is really, really well laid out, I have to say. It's really thorough. It covers everything. There's a couple of problems I've got with the practical exercises where they don't quite explain things as well as they could do, but I'll point that out when I come round to doing the videos for the practical exercises. But if you've got an interest, if you want to take on clockmaking or watchmaking and you want to do it seriously, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's really enjoyable sitting down with the books each month and, you know, learning all these new extra bits and pieces about horology. It's been really fun. It really has. So the next topic I want to cover is a conversation I get into with people quite often, and that's the subject of retraining, what that's like, and, you know, how do you go about it? Now, I can't be the only person watching this that's been in that position, or some of you may currently be in that position where you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're unfulfilled, you feel like there's no way out of what you're currently doing into what you want to be doing. My best advice for you is you need to dedicate some of that spare time to start working towards the goals that you want. And that doesn't just count for clockmaking or watchmaking. That counts for anything that you decide that you want to be doing. I'm not going to deny that it's a huge landmark event in a person's life when they decide to quit one career and go into another. And I can't really give you much advice about what it's going to be like going into horology or clockmaking, watchmaking, anything like that, because I don't really know yet. I have spoken to a few clockmakers and watchmakers, and there's certainly jobs out there. If you sign up to the BHI course, you have to become a member first. You get sent a copy of the Horological Journal, and in the back of the Horological Journal every month, especially for those of us living in the UK, there's a list of jobs. There's certainly people out there looking to train apprentices, to get people started off in horology, but making that leap is a big decision, and you're going to need support. Now, I know damn well that the horology community is going to help you out and do everything that they can for you. If you're slightly younger, there are grants and sponsorships that you can get, and I'm going to go into those in much more depth when I know more about them, because I think that's an important thing to be able to communicate with the rest of you guys in the community. But it's not going to be easy. The changing career is not easy, but you can certainly do it. And I've seen people change from, you know, complete career changes in their life. Personally, when I first started out working, I used to work in a bank. I used to be a unit trust dealer for stockbrokers, and then I changed career then and went into security work. And now I don't have the kind of commitments that a lot of you may have, but even then, for me then, that was a really big decision to make. One of the things that I can guarantee that you get from it is that you really feel like you've got your hands on the reins of your own life after that point. You can make decisions that take your life in a more positive place. And that's certainly what I'm going to be trying to do while pursuing this career in clock and watchmaking. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to take me, but the thing I'd like the most is to be able to make videos like this, is to be able to make my career out of being able to just continually be learning and continually learning these new techniques and skills, and just losing myself to the beauty of the history that goes behind these beautiful objects. They really are. The first time you take apart a clock or a watch, if you feel passionate about it the same way I do, it's a life-changing experience. It really is. So the only thing I can offer you is what I've said before. If you let me know that you want to do this, or you've got questions that you want to ask people that are already in the industry, I'm going to make sure that every time I come across somebody, whether they're a clockmaker or watchmaker, if they do servicing, if they do some sort of town planning, or they work in a museum or something like that, I'm going to consistently ask what the career opportunities are and what support is available for everybody out there. And hopefully between the lot of us, we can help quench some of those fears that you may have about changing from what you're doing at the moment into doing something that you absolutely love. Finally, I want to talk about the goals that I have for the channel, where I'm hoping to take this and everything. Well, firstly, I want a full-time job out of this. At this particular moment in time, my wife, my beautiful wife, is covering all of the bills at the moment, allowing me the chance to chase down this pipe dream. Let's be completely honest about it. So, you know, I've got to think about how I'm going to earn some cash out of this. Hopefully, I'll be able to make some money out of the YouTube videos, and I'll be able to do something with that. If that doesn't work out, I'm hoping that these videos that I do are going to be great on my CV if I do apply to a clockmakers or watchmakers, and there are a couple of you out there, and I'm looking at you, Smiths of Derby, that I would love to work for because you guys seem to like you have a great time. And if that doesn't work out, if I do end up going into business for myself, I think this will be a great thing to show to customers as well. So that's the reason I do the videos and why I've put so much effort into them, is because I think they're multifaceted and they produce a lot of opportunity for me. And, you know, every single one of you that is watching, let's be honest here, there's an opportunity to get you to buy whatever it is that I decide to sell in the future. The other things that I really want to get from the channel, regardless of what happens as far as my career is concerned, is I want to keep making these and building my skills up, because every time I make these videos I notice that I put everything I can into them. I'm working at my very, very best when I do these videos. I don't cut corners. I follow things by the book. I'm really dedicated when the camera is on me, and I want to keep that up. Because I think that as I learn these skills, I'm going to be able to communicate those to you guys as well, and then we can start sharing stuff between us, and I think it'll be great fun. On top of that is I want to see if I can grab some of the old skills that we may lose this generation. Is that most clockmakers and watchmakers don't make videos, and they have an awful lot of skills and tips and techniques that we run the risk of losing if someone isn't there to capture them and make sure that that's embedded in time in one of these videos. So I'm going to be dedicating myself to that, and you know, I feel very, very strongly about that. And the other thing I want to do is to find out where horology is happening. I want to get out to the different museums. I want to get out to some of the clubs. I want to be able to see what people are making, what people are creating, and you know, how the community works. You know, what I've learned so far about the community is, as I said before, they're just so supportive. They just can't help you anymore. It's just incredible. And along with that, I also want to be able to show that learning clockmaking and watchmaking doesn't just mean that you're going to be making clocks and watches. We learn an awful lot of skills on this course that transfer over into other things. And I've got my eye set on a couple of things that I'd like to do. Firstly, I want to make some model steam engines. I've had a thing about wanting to do that for a long time now, so I'll be doing stuff like that. I used to work for a model shop, you know, radio controlled aeroplanes and helicopters and all of that kind of stuff, cars and bits, and so I wouldn't mind building some balsa planes and things like that, do some decent model building, drones and that kind of stuff, and also building up the video skills. I think that's really fun, and we're doing a lot of work in macro and stuff. I think that could be really fun and really helpful for everybody as well. But if there's any ideas that you guys have got, anything you think that I can add to the channel that will really help the community out, then definitely let me know. I really do enjoy talking to you guys. Every time I have one of you guys answer an email or put up a post, it really does make me happy that there are people out there that find this interesting and want to keep it going as well. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. I've got loads more content coming out over the next couple of weeks. I've got to put back together that beautiful little tambour clock that I made, but I'll be honest with you, I made a couple of mistakes. I didn't get all the shots that I needed, so I've got to take it apart again, then put it back together again to get those last couple of shots. That's going to be going out. Then we're going to start working on some of the practical exercises, and I'm really looking forward to that. I did say before that I was going to get myself out to a museum, but I haven't got round to that yet. I just haven't had the time, but I'm going to be lining that up over the next month or so, and there's a couple of places I'm going to get in contact with, and hopefully we might be able to get a tour or something like that and a bit more information from the people that actually work in these places. So hopefully I shall see you on the next episode, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, and go out and get your hands dirty. Do 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 do.